Paul in Woodinville, Washington. How you doing, my friend?
How you doing, Tom?
Good.
A caller said a few minutes ago, it just spurred something. She was saying about why government should help other people, and it made me think of how far the Republican Party has come from even what they used to be. You know, in 1919, this is just for Veterans Day information, 1919, the first Disabled Veterans Act was passed, and 2 years later, 1921, Congress reasoned why, if we can help disabled veterans with rehabilitation, employment, such thing, why then every American is entitled to that kind of, every disabled American is entitled to that kind of help. And the first Disabled Americans Act was passed in 1921. This was under the Warren G. Harding administration.
A Republican.
An entirely Republican Congress as well, yes.
Right.
And, of course, there's been lots of development in the legislation through the 1940s. Disabled legislation for disabilities of both veterans and regular civilians included mental and cognitive and developmental disabilities. And then, of course, in the 1970s, there was the 1973 Rehab Act. So the idea that, government has historically, for almost 100 years now, had a role in helping people who need help. Yeah. And this party, this Republican Party, this idea that they're going to, like you said, throw it on the churches. When Ron Paul, was it Ron Paul or I think it was Ron Paul who said, let the churches, I heard every pastor in the whole country go, ah! Yeah, right.
Yes.
With what? You
right.
know, you look at the offering there, they can barely keep the doors of the churches open, let alone, a congregation might be able to help one person in the church that was needed, with hospital payments.
Yeah, especially if somebody gets hit with a heavy medical bill. Yeah. Right.
Exactly.
Or a disabled child that's going to require help throughout their lives. I mean, that could take down a whole church. You're right, Paul.
Sure.
Very, very well said. Thanks for the history lesson too. You always bring the most fascinating things to this show. It is wonderful to hear from you.